Alright, now let's talk about opacity and about the important rule in CSS. So these two properties are very useful and frequently used in CSS. Let's discuss opacity first. So it's used to increase the transparency of the elements and decrease the depth of color. Then we have important, in which if you have used multiple classes for one element, only the last class will work and the others won't work. In other words, only that property will work first for which you have written important. Okay, so let's now go to VS Code and see how all of this works. So here I'll use the div tag and then I'll go here, select div tag and write background image, URL, image, / second.jpg, then I'll write width 100% and height equals 100 VH. Then I'll write background size cover and background position center. I'll save it. I check the result in the browser. So this is what the image will look like. Now I want to add some background color here. So how can we do that? I'll go to the background image and write linear gradient RGB 156 522 1454 RGB 445 555 225. I'll save it and check the result in the browser, and this is how it looks like. Now here I'll use opacity to blur the color and display the image as well. So I'll write RGBA 156 522 154 0.5 and RGBA 445 555 225 0.5. Okay, I'll save it and we check the result. Now you can see the color has blurred and we can see the image. So now let's see how the important property works. I'll use the P tag and write lorem in it. So here I'll use the selector and write color green yellow. I'll remove this part because I don't need it now. I'll save it and you can see the result. Then I'll use another color that is hot pink and you can see the color has changed. But if I want the previous color to work here, I'll put an exclamation mark and write important. I'll save it and you can see the color has changed back to green yellow. So this is how you can use this important property on your website. I hope this is clear to you now. And now on to the next lecture. Okay, so a border radius is used to fix the radius of a border. We can use different values for that, such as percentage, px, rem, or vh, and so on. This property also identifies the types of corners a border can have. Alright, so let's now see how this works in our code editor. Here, I've taken an anchor tag, then I'll write home and save it. Now I'll go here and use the selector and write width 50 pixels and height 30 pixels. Then I'll write margin 30 pixels, 30 px and padding 5 px. I'll save it and we check the result in our browser. Now I'll write border 3 px, solid green yellow, save it, and here are the results. I then write text decoration, none, color black, and text transform uppercase, and it will look like this. So now I'll change the background color to blue, and here you go. If I change the color to red, this is how it looks like. You can now read what's inside this button. Alright, so now I add some hover effect here. I write background color brown and color chartreuse. Okay, just pick any color you want, so whatever color you pick, you will get it. Then I'll write transition 0.5 seconds. I save it and I check the result. And here you go. It's beautifully changing colors when I hover over it. It's also possible to change the color of the border. So we write border 3px solid pink. And as you can see, it's now pink when I hover over the button. Alright, so let's now talk about the main topic of this lecture, which is the border radius. So here I'll write border radius 10px, 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 and 10px. The first one is left top. The second one is right top. The third is bottom right. And the fourth is bottom left. I'll save it And as you can see, the edges are now curved. If you write 10px instead of writing it 4 times, it will still work the same way. Now, if I write 20px, and you can see the result in front of you. Okay, so now if I can give different values like 10px, 20px, 30px, and 40px. I'll save it, and you can see the result in front of you. Alright, so this is how we use the border radius property, and now on to the next lecture. Alright, so let's now talk about box shadow. So this property creates a shadow around the element, which is similar to the border radius, but it has some different values. So let's have a practical look at it. In VS Code, I'll remove the anchor tag and this part as well. Now I'll use the div tag, then the p tag, and write lorem in it. I'll save it. Next, for the style, I'll write padding 10 pixels. Then I'll go in the style tag, select the div tag, and write width 400 pixels and height 200 pixels. Now I'll write margin 50 pixels, 10 pixels. I'll refresh it, and you can see the output. Okay, so now I'll specify the border radius, and it will only work if you have given a border. So first I'll write border 2 pixels, solid green yellow, then I'll write border radius 30 pixels. I'll save it, and you can see the result. Now we'll write the box shadow using 5 properties. The first one is right, the second one is bottom, and the third one specifies the blurriness, and the fourth one specifies how much do you want to spread the color. So the fifth one is the color itself. Okay, now you might notice the color is equal from the right side and the bottom, but it's unequal from the left side and the top. So for that, we can reduce the right and bottom values to 0, and you can see the color is now equal from both sides. Usually, bottom and right values are not used frequently. Avoiding the use of it will help equal distribution of shadow color from all sides. So in this way, you can give shadow to box in different colors. You can type value in the box shadow property that includes the value of right, bottom, blurriness, spread, and color of shadow respectively. Okay, so you can also use the hover effect here. I'll copy this and paste it here. Then I'll write div hover and change the color. I'll refresh it, and you can see the result in front of you. Now, the color is not changing smoothly, so for that I'll use a transition of 0.5 seconds, and yeah, I'll save it, and here you go. You can see the result. So that's basically how we can customize the shadow of any element, and that's pretty much it for this lecture. Now on to the next one.